4 years have passed since Isla Nubia's volcanic destruction. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Welcome to Jurassic World Dominion. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today this is going to be my Jurassic World Dominion review. I'm a big fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. I grew up when Jurassic Park was the massive worldwide phenomenon that came out in 1993. I was like very young at the time, but it obviously took my imagination. You know, it just grabbed my imagination of dinosaurs and it brought this wonder into my life, and I've always loved these movies. I do believe this is a very consistent franchise. I like all the films. I don't think they're bad at all. I think they're just entertainingly fun movies. The first Jurassic Park is a stone cold classic in my opinion. The sequel, The Lost World, is just so underappreciated. It blows my mind. It's so good as well. Jurassic Park 3, I used to dislike, but I like it a lot more now. Jurassic World was a great return to form. Love this movie. And Fallen Kingdom was kind of more of the same, but had this cool kind of horror edge towards the end, which I really enjoyed. With that being said, let's get on with Dominion. Now, Dominion, they try and like hype it up to be this new, going in the new directions, moving forward. The end of Fallen Kingdom, dinosaurs are now in the mainland alongside humans, you know, disturbing everyday life. You know, it kind of opens with this whole kind of news report showing about dinosaurs integrating with human society, etc. So that's not really a spoiler. It's just like the literally first 2 minutes of the film, but it does kind of showcase that, yeah, dinosaurs and humans, they are together in this movie. Mainland as well, so they're actually interrupting society. I want to get on to my positives first. This film has great dinosaur set pieces. I wasn't expecting anything less. There is an amazing set piece set in Malta. It's awesome. It's so good. Like, it's probably my favourite moment of the movie. It's the most, you know, tense moment of the movie, and the dinosaurs involved are awesome. Just put, without spoiling it, that's all I can say. It's really good. The dinosaurs look great as well. They look really good. I don't want to give away any surprises in this film. I want to keep some of the dinosaurs a secret so people are surprised when they see them, because I definitely was. I was like, oh, get in, awesome. So I was really happy to see some really cool dinosaurs in this film. There's some newbies, some old favourites. T-Rex is there, you know it's going to be there, it's not really a spoiler, but dinosaurs look great. There are some occasions where they can look a bit hokey. There's one scene in particular where you can tell it's a digital effect. It doesn't look particularly good, but the scene only lasts for about maybe a few seconds. By the time you notice it, it's gone. So it isn't that bad. The whole chemistry between the old cast and the new cast, really, really good. I really enjoyed their kind of back and forth with each other. It's really, really cool to see that. Ian Malcolm, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, they're all here. Great to see all those guys back. Dr. Alan Grant is kind of the same, almost kind of like got this kind of cynical attitude. Quite enjoyable to see that his character has maintained his kind of attitude. It's great. Ellie Sattler is really, really great as well. And Ian Malcolm is Ian Malcolm, and it's Jeff Goldblum, and he's just hamming it up all the way there. He's great. The acting is great pretty much throughout. I really just enjoyed everyone. I think everyone really grabbed hold of their characters and really understood what their characters. Claire has a really good, almost like redemption story. You've seen how her attitude has changed from being this kind of like number crunching, money hungry kind of CEO of this Jurassic World theme park to becoming actually, you know, sympathetic to the animals. So you see more of that. You see more of the extension of that, of her character in this, which is great. I think it's paced fairly decently. However, I do feel it's a bit long. Maisie Lockwood, the clone from Fallen Kingdom, she has a lot of expanded lore to her character and to her background, which is really interesting to me. I found it really good because you're just left with Fallen Kingdom that, oh yeah, she's also a clone. But yeah, they explain a lot of things about her character in this film, which I actually thought was decent. So she gets a big kind of almost like a bit of a good portion of character development there. That's where it ends really, with positives. So like I said, great dinosaur action. Dinosaurs look great except for some sequences. Legacy characters has great chemistry with the new characters. The acting's great. It kind of moves at a very, very brisk pace. And Maisie's character is kind of like expanded on, which is great. Now, we're going to get to negatives. It pains me to say this, but you've seen this film before. If you've seen a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movie before, you've seen this movie. It's not the same movie in terms of plot. The plot is very different, but in terms of the way it kind of moves, goes through the motions, it's the same film pretty much. You know, stuff happens, run away from dinosaurs, stuff happens, run away from you get my gist. I was expecting something drastic to change with this, because dinosaurs on the mainland should be easy to write a compelling story for that. And I don't think they did that with this one. It sticks to a tired formula. Even though, going back to my positives, even though I had fun, it had great dinosaur action, like I said, great set pieces, the characters were fun, all this good stuff is in a story that I didn't really care about. And that is the crux of this film. It sticks to a tired formula, but it also has an uninteresting story. And this is the kicker, guys, with the story. It's a dinosaur movie, but it's not really about dinosaurs. I can't elaborate on that point because it's spoilers, but if you go into this film expecting a story about dinosaurs, you will be disappointed. It's a story with dinosaurs, but they're not a focus of the narrative here, and I think it's just a mistake. It really is. The main narrative thread here I didn't care about. Obviously the film is spectacular and action-packed, so that kept my attention for the most part. Obviously dinosaurs are cool, they'll always be cool to me, so I always was looking forward to, well, what dinosaur are we going to see next, what confrontation are we going to see next, etc. But like I said, the main narrative thread is not about dinosaurs, and it kind of is fairly dull and not that interesting, but I digress. The climax, that I can't obviously get into because of spoilers, is underwhelming. It kind of just like, stuff happens and it just wraps up and it's done. There you go, woohoo, yeah, you finished. It was very underwhelming, especially everything the characters go through in this film. I was hoping for a bigger payoff for the ending, and I can't go into that because spoilers, of course. My final negative, this didn't feel like an end of a trilogy. This just felt like another franchise sequel. And when it was trying to say that this was going to be the end of the Jurassic World trilogy, you know, trilogies have a satisfying payoff, wrap up, you know, loose ends tie up, and it's really great. This just feels like another sequel. This ends in the same place as it begins, if that makes sense. The actual kind of universe itself is in the same predicament that it was at the end of Fallen Kingdom. So this film doesn't really push like the overall narrative anywhere, really. So this film could easily get a sequel because it ends like we could get more. It's just another franchise sequel, and that pains me because I was looking forward to this one. They were teasing that this was going to be a different beast, and it wasn't. It was your run-of-the-mill Jurassic movie that had a plot that was uninteresting and wasn't really about dinosaurs. That's the disappointment here. I enjoyed it. I'm going to buy the 4K, of course I am. To conclude my thoughts, if you just want to go in there for dinosaurs and dinosaur action and great set pieces and edge of your seat moments, you're going to get it. It's going to be fun. Turn your brain off, have a fun old time. But if you were going into this like me, hoping for a change of direction in its formula and a satisfying conclusion to a trilogy, you are not going to get this, and that is really painful for me to say. Overall, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed it for what it was, even though I've got negatives here. I had to be fair. I had to, you know, weigh it up, negatives and positives. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It's entertaining. If you want that popcorn movie this summer, I think it's a great movie to go and see. This is definitely a film to see on the big screen for that. Is it better than the last one? I think it is. I think it actually is a bit more entertaining and a bit more crazier in terms of its set pieces than Fallen Kingdom. And I think it's better than JP3 because Jurassic Park 3 is still, in my mind, the weakest in the franchise. That's my thoughts, guys, of Jurassic World Dominion. Comment down below and let me know what you thought about this movie. Don't be afraid to let me know your opinions. You know, just because I didn't like the main narrative thread doesn't mean you're not allowed to like it. So let me know if you enjoyed it. That's great. I look forward to reading your comments. If you hated it, if you are one of these people like the mainstream media are just shitting on this movie right now, if you are in their camp and you really didn't like this movie, let me know why. I would love to read your comments to see if there's anything that I may have missed that could go, oh yeah, that was a bit shit. But we'll see. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I'm going to get the 4K, of course. And yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments down below. As always, I have been Jason. I am wearing a t-shirt for the occasion. And I will see you next time.